Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. We've got some more gold, 1.1 more ounces added to the stack. Let's explore. Yes, that's right. We've got 1.1 more ounces of gold added to the stack. And I'm going to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about not just the weight that's added, but also the idea of this modern coin grading and really how it has very little to any effect on the prices in the aftermarket. However, that is just in some cases. We're going to explore those markets here as we take a look, as we talk about the addition of these pieces to the stack. Now, as you know, I had been following the American Liberty series from the United States Mint for quite some time. In fact, since about 2014, and maybe even 13, since they kind of started talking about this series. And it's a biennial series, which means that every 2 years they're going to come out with a different representation of liberty. And in fact, I haven't talked about the 2021 proposed designs yet, but boy, that's going to be quite interesting to see if it is what they're thinking it will be, depending on what's approved. But this is the first year, 2015, that they came out with this, and it is a high relief gold coin with a $100 denomination on it. And this was pretty cool when it came out. However, there were some issues with the look of this, because it was only one finish and had sort of this brushed look. In fact, on this example, you can kind of see those striations in the background, which basically means it's the dies have been polished, and it gives it that kind of brushed look. Now, in this particular example, it looks pretty cool, actually, some sort of a specimen finish, which Royal Canadian Mint has done. Although the lines aren't quite as uniform, therefore there's dye polish marks. So they varied, which basically makes it look like the fields have been scratched, which is quite unfortunate. However, this is a great example, and this one is graded a 70 by NGC, and it is a nice-looking coin, and it's probably meets somewhere close to that grade. Of course, modern coins typically tend to, there's very few flaws in them, or actually, if you look at them very, very closely, you will probably find a flaw here and there, a very tiny little flaw here and there. In fact, this one has a little bit of thinning around the edge of the rim there, which is relatively common for modern high-relief coins. However, I would dare to say that that would be an imperfection, and this should not be a 70. And there may be little marks or nicks in here, and that should negate it from being a 70. In my opinion, having a smooth background, these dye polishing marks would probably be another way to. But I digress. So this coin is a 70, but I bought it for just $25 over spot price. That's right. And these coins, if you look in the secondary market, preferably eBay, typically they still do sell for a premium because they're a lower mintage. They're not a bullion coin. It is a collector coin, and the series of these, the only way to get them is from the United States Mint at an egregious premium, typically a couple $100 over spot. $300 to $400 over spot. So this particular coin here, 4 years after it's been released and graded by NGC with an early releases designation, I was able to get this thing for $25 over spot, which means that the coin dealer that I bought it from, he got it for essentially spot price, probably, is my guess. And of course, depending on what spot price was at the time, more than likely it was probably maybe even higher than what it was when I purchased it. So the grading fees, the premiums, all that has just been wiped away with a transaction when it was bought from the local coin dealer. And of course, the local coin dealer pass that savings on to me. He may have made, I don't know, depending on what he paid for it, even if he could have paid a little bit under spot. Who knows? I kind of doubt that, but nonetheless, this has come my way and encapsulated with an MS70 designation. Now, I could probably turn around and sell this on eBay and obviously make my money back on it. And maybe even a little bit more, but who knows? But then I have to subtract 13% with the eBay fees and other fees and costs associated with selling on eBay. So I'd have to take that into account. And who knows? But for me, I'm buying it for the weight and because this design sort of has grown on me, especially this reverse. I've always liked the reverse with the eagle. In fact, this could be a great design for the gold eagle in 2021 moving forward. I think that would be a great design to use. It harkens to the St. Gaudens eagle in a sense, but also this side is pretty cool. Although she still looks a bit young for Lady Liberty there, but nonetheless, it is an idealized version. Different representations of Lady Liberty moving forward, and this is the first year of issue for this particular series. Now, I did get a 1/10 of an ounce as well, 1/10 of an ounce eagle there at a fairly decent price. Not a whole lot over spot. If you can find 1/10 of an ounce size gold coins with a relatively low premium, it's a great way to accumulate gold, but you have to be careful when buying 10th ounce pieces of gold because you don't know, you're not going to recapture that premium when it comes times to sell, and typically these 10th ounce pieces have the highest premium, as is usually the case with any fractional bullion out there. And there are deals that can be had for 10th ounce gold, but they're few and far between. You're going to start to see a deal on gold at the quarter ounce size and above. In fact, I would argue to say that quarter ounce size, you're probably even more viable to find. It's more likely that you'll find deals for quarter ounce size, even than half ounce size in many cases. But nonetheless, there it is, 1.1 ounces of gold, and it is fascinating to see that if you can find a way to accumulate slabbed gold, well, hey, you're basically getting this protective case on it. That's how I look at it. It's a protective case, and the MS70 designation just means that, to me, it just means that, hey, they looked it over and there's no big scratches or dents or anything on it. And so that's fine with me. But I don't really buy the coin for the grade. I buy it for the appeal of the coin, mainly as a collector. But with gold, when you accumulate gold as a collector, well, you're really stacking it as well, because if you can find gold for $20, $30 over spot, especially in an MS70 designation, you're doing fairly well. But it also, again, I believe it just goes to show you that modern coin grading does not really make a whole lot of difference in, especially for local coin shops, depending on what the coin is. But by and large, most modern graded stuff typically is not as viable for some of these local coin shops to deal with classic coins. It just depends on what their focus is. If their marketplace is modern coins, well, yeah, it's going to make a bigger deal. But if it's classic coins, they're not really that concerned about modern coin grading. Now, on eBay, this coin will probably fetch a higher premium, as I mentioned before, and I could potentially flip it. Of course, I'm not going to do that. Too much hassle, number one. And number two, it's just too much hassle, which is the same as number one. So there you have it. Fascinating indeed. But I look at this as just adding to the goal of the year, which I really am not set out a specific goal that I remember. I'll have to look back at my earlier videos and see if I had made a goal for myself for the addition of gold to the stack. But we will continue to accumulate, and I think I'm going to probably continue to do so into 2020 to try to focus a bit more on gold, but try to maybe accumulate a little bit more silver as part of a stacking strategy as well as a collector strategy. But there it is. 1.1 ounces of gold added to the stack. I hope you enjoyed this video. Post your thoughts below. Would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to all of you for watching, and I encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.